I feel like your first big break, I know AWA and World Class and everything, but really when you go to WWF in the mid 70s and you start feuding with Bruno Sammartino, that was like a huge, that's a huge thing. You're getting a WWF title shot against Bruno and you won the first time out. I think it was a DQ or something, but you basically come out victor. I mean, to me, that was like I don't know, the launchy pad, if you will, to superstardom with Bruno feud. Maybe I'm wrong, but what do you think?
Right. Well, I wrestled Bruno about 25, maybe 30 times. And, 3 times in Madison Square Garden, 3 times in Boston Garden, 3 times in Pittsburgh, 3 times in Philadelphia. And so, but you start adding all that stuff up. How often I wrestled Bruno? It was about 25 times, I'm sure, maybe more. And I had great matches with Bruno. I mean, I idolized the guy. And then I find out when I got back to New York, Bruno comes over to me and says, Ken, I followed you through college. I followed you through your whole weightlifting career, Olympic Games, Pan American Games, national championships, the world championships. Man, he was going on and on and on. He knew my whole history. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, he knew everything about Ken Patera. I says, Bruno, I said, you know my whole life. He said, yeah, probably pretty much. He said, I followed you for years. And he says, I really respect your athletic ability and your accomplishments, especially going to the Pan American Games and the World Championships and Olympic Games to put the crown on. And he says, yeah, he said, we're going to have a good time here in the WWF. And we did. We really did. Yeah.
It's amazing. One of the all-time greats is following your career. Obviously, your Olympic career and stuff, but that's pretty cool because he's known as at that point the god of the WWF. I mean, he was the king.
Yeah, he was. I don't. He sold out Madison Square Garden. I don't even know 150 times, and that was over years. Years and years. 100 because we only wrestle in Madison Square Garden once a month, and so I mean he took on all comers. He wrestled everybody. He started off beating. Uh,
Buddy Rogers.
yeah, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, and that's where Ric Flair picked up his gimmick name, Nature Boy Ric Flair, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
Yep.
Very flamboyant, and I never wrestled Buddy, but he had a feud going with Jimmy Snuka down in the Mid-Atlantic territory when I was feuding with Johnny Valentine. And so I was around Buddy Rogers quite a bit. As a matter of fact, when he came down to Charlotte, Crockett Promotions in the Mid-Atlantic area is what it was referred to back in those days. But Buddy bought a house about 3 blocks from me. And I was talking to him. I said, I said, why would you buy a house here? And he said, well, I'm moving in. And I said, well, you're going to be around. He said, oh, yeah, I'm here. I says, great. And I said, Ric Flair loves you. He said, that's why and that's when Rick started calling himself Nature Boy Ric Flair's after Buddy had left the territory. Yeah, because you couldn't have 2 Nature Boys.